Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. It is the first duty of every government to secure the nation, to defend it from its enemies, foreign and domestic. To this end, Britain has several armed forces: the Army, the Navy, and of course the Royal Air Force. Or at least it has an Army and a Navy. The Royal Air Force, that's very much questionable. For one, they have very few planes, and there is a waiting list of, years to train pilots. And secondly, they've stopped recruiting by far the biggest section of people who ever want to join the military in the first place for some mad diversity-led quota system that is actually completely unachievable. Let's look at this article. So, diversity is our strength. Royal Air Force stopped hiring white men to hit a female and minority quotas is a claim. Well, given this country is 90% white and that traditionally women don't join the military, or even those that do tend not to go to frontline fighting positions, it's not surprising that it is, should we say, dominated by white men. But they've stopped hiring white men. This is the RAF. Now, to sit there and say that we're not hiring people who may be the best based on the colour of their skin or their sex is both racist and sexist. It's surely illegal. You'd like to join. We think you're brilliant. You meet all the criteria, but we're not hiring you because you happen to be white. Now say that sentence, but change the word white for the word black and see how it sounds. Sounds a lot different, doesn't it? So the RAF has reportedly stopped hiring white men so as to hit massively stupid diversity quotas for men and ethnic minorities, a senior officer within the organisation has claimed. British Royal Air Force is alleged to have put the hiring of white men into the organisation on pause in the hopes of boosting the percentage of women and ethnic minorities in the military organisation. Such a boost is aimed at hitting a number of diversity targets set by various military bigwigs within Britain. Now, these are just random numbers plucked from their arses because they do not represent society. They are simply an arbitrary number that someone thought sounded nice looking down at a piece of paper in a meeting, and they have no reflection on whether the ethnic minorities themselves want to join the military. You can't press gang people anymore. According to a report by Sky News, however, many within the organisation have lambasted that push to meet diversity targets as being detrimental to its operational effectiveness, at a time when both Russia and China are posing an ever more significant security threat to UK strategic interests. Yes, so you've got a world getting steadily more dangerous. You have an absolute need to strengthen your military, and they're saying, well, the vast pool of where we're actually going to draw our military from, young white men, we're not going to allow them to join. We'll be desperate for them soon, but right now we aren't going to let them join because we're racist and sexist and we only want women and non-whites to join. So we're going to be racist and sexist against white men rather than hiring people based on merit. The push has resulted in the military organisation's head of recruitment resigning her post, with the unnamed senior female officer lambasting the impossible targets as an amounting to an effective pause on the hiring of white men. And in fact, she is not unnamed. She is Air Vice Marshal Maria Byford, Chief of Staff Personnel and Recruitment, I think is their title. And she is so disgusted by the decision made that she has taken the thoroughly decent step of resigning over this matter. She says it's a resignation matter and she has quit because she is having her hands tied behind her back. She is told, you hire people based on colour. You hire them because they're female. You're not to hire people because they're any good, but simply because they meet a box that needs to be ticked. But it's absolutely stupid what's happening here, because they are impossible. Other sources within the RAF appear to agree with the senior officer's assessment of the organisation, with many reportedly alleging that the Air Force's woke agenda is now impeding combat readiness. When wokeism, when lefty, Marxist, stupid wokeism is leading to this country losing its defence capability, heads must roll. Senior officers must be fired. This starts at the MOD. The minister in charge of the MOD, the defence minister, must lose his job. The senior Westminster cohorts, the senior civil servants must lose their jobs for treason. This is no other word for this. When you are endangering the defence of this country, that is treason. And these people need to be tried and imprisoned. And I say imprisoned because the very, very first act Tony Blair did when he became Prime Minister, the number one, the very first thing that warmongering criminal did was take the death penalty away for treason. It's almost as though he knew what he was going to do. Otherwise, they would have the proper punishment for treason still on the books. And these people are traitors. They are endangering the safety of our country with their lefty Marxist dangerous creed. An official spokesman from within the branch of the armed forces meanwhile claimed that no such pause on the hiring of white men is occurring, though in the same breath emphasised that the Air Force was doing everything it could to encourage recruiting from underrepresented groups and ensure the RAF has a diverse workforce. Why is that important? Why is the defence of this nation important in terms of diversity? Surely when you're defending the nation, you don't give one flying fuck about the diversity of the people standing at the gates defending it. You care only that they're any good. But these treasonous, quizzling bastards are endangering us all for identity politics, unachievable targets. They have said they want 20% of the RAF to be ethnic minority. We live in a country where 10% are ethnic minority, and a lot of them will never, under any circumstances, join the military because they do not want to join. You cannot press gang them, you cannot force them. And if they don't want to join, what are you going to do? You're going to say, well, we're going to let the numbers fall because we're not going to hire the people who are willing to join because it goes against our ideology, it goes against our politics, it goes against our Marxism. Well, let me tell you, when the Russians are hoving into view, coming up the Channel Tunnel, T-60 tanks, who will you be looking at then? Because don't tell me you won't be wanting to be saved from those bastards. You scum. You are traitorous, treasonous scum, and you all need to lose your jobs. I'm going to come up now. Whoever at the Ministry of Defence or senior officers in the Royal Air Force thought that not recruiting from your biggest recruiting pool was anything other than a stupid idea. And these arbitrary targets, 20% from ethnic minorities and 40% women, are not only unachievable, but while you have the recruiting freeze, are dangerous. They endanger the security of this nation. And those senior officers and officials and minister, anyone involved, need to be fired, need to lose their jobs, and then need to be prosecuted, as I say, for treason. I did get angry, but I'm calmed down now. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notification of future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well. Let's hope there's not a war, and goodbye.